Hey, everyone, Alex here. And before we even get into today's massive Kansas City Chiefs update, I need to pause for a quick second because I know many of you watch my videos every single week but still haven't subscribed. And honestly, if you are one of those people right now, is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. It takes less than a second, and it helps this channel grow so I can keep bringing you breaking Chiefs news faster than anywhere else. So don't wait, go ahead and subscribe right now and turn on the bell so you never miss an update. All right, now, let's jump straight into today's story because this one is truly historic. We are talking about Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking down our Kansas City Chiefs in a way that people will be talking about for years, and I don't say that lightly. This was not just another game. This was a moment that will live in NFL history because what Hurts did against the Chiefs put his name right next to some of the all-time greats. And if you are a true football fan, you know exactly how rare it is for a quarterback to do what he just did. So let me set the stage. Imagine Arrowhead Stadium, packed to the max, the lights shining down, the crowd electric, with every snap, Chiefs Kingdom roaring, because anytime Patrick Mahomes is on the field, you just know something magical can happen. But this time, across the line stood Jalen Hurts, a quarterback who has faced his share of doubts, a guy who has been questioned ever since he entered the league. And yet here, he was not just competing with Mahomes, but actually rewriting history in real time. The Eagles and Chiefs have had battles before. Of course, the most memorable being that Super Bowl where Hurts played his heart out, but still walked away in defeat. And for any competitor, that stings. It burns deep because you know you were good enough, but the trophy slipped away. So this matchup was personal. This was not just another regular season game. For Hurts, this was a chance for redemption, a chance to prove he could beat the best of the best, and not just beat them, but do it in Kansas City's own house. From the very first drive, you could feel Hurts was locked in. The Eagles' offense was clicking, the running game opened lanes, the offensive line gave him just enough time, and every time the Chiefs' defense tried to adjust, Hurts had an answer. He was throwing darts into tight windows, moving with poise, escaping pressure with his legs, and just frustrating our defense at every turn. And you could see it on the Chiefs' sideline, players shaking their heads because no matter what scheme was called, Hurts kept finding a way to break through. And here's the crazy part. This victory didn't just add another win to the Eagles' record, it placed Jalen Hurts in an elite category of quarterbacks. He became the first quarterback in modern NFL history to defeat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in back-to-back seasons, something no one else has done. And let that sink in for a second, because we are talking about Patrick Mahomes, the guy who has been to the Super Bowl 4 times already, the guy who has 2 rings, 2 MVPs, and is seen as the new face of the league. Yet Hurts managed to do what legends like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow have all struggled to do consistently, and that is take down the Chiefs when it matters most. Now, I know Chiefs Kingdom is hurting right now because losing is never easy, especially when it comes in such a spotlight moment. But let's be real for a second. If you love football, you have to respect what Hurts accomplished. He didn't just beat Mahomes once, he proved it wasn't a fluke by doing it again. And not many quarterbacks can say that. In fact, when you look back at this era of football 20 years from now, people will remember Mahomes as the dominant force, but they will also remember the few rivals who were able to stand toe-to-toe with him. And right now, Hurts is carving his name into that list. What really impressed me, though, was the way Hurts stayed calm under pressure. Think about the second half. The Chiefs' defense started heating up. Chris Jones was bring pressure. The secondary tightened up, but Hurts never panicked. He extended plays with his legs. He found his receivers downfield. And when the game was on the line, he delivered those clutch throws that separate good quarterbacks from great ones. It was the kind of performance that makes you step back and say, wow, this guy is not just talented, he is special. And let's not forget the emotional side of this story, because Hurts has been doubted his whole career. People said he couldn't throw at an NFL level. People said he was more of a running back than a quarterback. And even after leading the Eagles to the Super Bowl last year, critics still questioned if he was elite. But by walking into Arrowhead and beating the Chiefs again, Hurts answered every one of those doubts with his play. And nothing speaks louder than results now. For Chiefs fans, I know the question on everyone's mind is, what does this mean for us? Should we be worried? Is this a sign that the Chiefs dynasty is slipping? Personally, I don't think so. Mahomes, Travis Kelce, is still the best tight end in football, and Andy Reid is still a mastermind. But what it does show is that the rest of the league is catching up. Teams are studying the Chiefs, figuring out ways to slow them down. And when you have a quarterback like Hurts, who plays fearless, who refuses to back down, it puts pressure on the Chiefs to evolve, to get better, to adapt. In a strange way, I actually think this loss could be good for the Chiefs, because Mahomes thrives on challenges. Every time people start doubting him, he bounces back stronger, and you better believe he will use this defeat as fuel for the rest of the season. But at the same time, it's a reminder to all of us that no matter how great the Chiefs are, the NFL is full of hungry young stars, and Jalen Hurts just showed he is one of the hungriest. So what happens next? Well, the Eagles now have the mental edge over the Chiefs if they meet again in the playoffs or even another Super Bowl. You know Hurts will walk into that game with confidence, and that is dangerous, because once a quarterback believes he can beat Mahomes, the rest of the team starts to believe too, and belief is a powerful weapon. Meanwhile, the Chiefs will have to regroup, clean up mistakes, and find that extra gear that makes them champions. For us fans, this is why we love football. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about the stories, the rivalries, the moments that stick with us. And whether you are a die-hard Chiefs fan or just a casual viewer, you can't deny that Hurts versus Mahomes is quickly becoming one of the defining matchups of this generation. Two young superstars pushing each other to new heights and giving us incredible games to watch. So Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you. Do you see Hurts as a true rival to Mahomes now? Do you think the Eagles have the Chiefs' number? Or was this just another bump in the road for our dynasty? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, because I'll be reading every single one. And I love seeing what you all think. And before we wrap up, if you made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you, because it really helps the channel when you watch all the way through. But also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I know many of you watch, but still haven't hit that button. So join the family right now, because we are building the best Chiefs community on YouTube. And trust me, you don't want to miss the next update. All right. That's all for today. Jalen Hurts made history against the Chiefs, and while it stings as a fan to see it happen, you have to respect greatness. But don't worry, Chiefs Kingdom, because this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. Mahomes will be back, and when these two meet again, you better believe it will be fireworks. Alex. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.